What is physical corporeal footprint? In lawful discussions outside statutory terminology, physical corporeal footprint is sometimes used to describe the presence of a natural person, living body, within a jurisdiction typically within the boundaries of the corporate United States, Washington, D.C., or federal zone. In some interpretations, setting foot on federal land or voluntarily entering contracts, e.g., Social Security, driver's license, birth registration, is seen as creating a footprint that allows the federal government to claim jurisdiction over the individual's body and estate. 2. How does this affect inheritance? The theory goes like this. When a child is born and registered, via the certificate of live birth, a legal entity, legal person, is created. The natural person's physical presence, footprint, is interpreted as consent to be governed and be the surety for the obligations of the legal person. Inheritance in this context refers not to family assets, but to the birthright or trust tied to the registered estate, the cusp-linked bond tied to the CULB. The physical corporeal footprint under this theory is said to forfeit your beneficial status, making you the trustee or surety, thus blocking your ability to claim the inheritance, value of the estate, trust, or credits. This idea aligns with concepts from equity and trust law, where if you are acting as the trustee, you cannot at the same time be the beneficiary, unless you formally restructure your status. 3. Is this a law? What act is this? There is no single statute or act named physical corporeal footprint. However, related statutes and administrative constructs include Social Security Act, 1935, assigns a number to the individual, linking them to federal benefits and obligations. Trading with the Enemy Act, 1917, and Emergency Banking Relief Act, 1933, expanded federal jurisdiction over persons under a national emergency. Buck Act, for USC Sections 105 through 110, allows federal taxation in states by defining federal areas. Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, treats persons and their contracts as commercial entities. These acts collectively shift jurisdiction and define status in a commercial/governmental context, allowing the government to act as administrator over the estate created in your name. 4. How can this be reversed or corrected? To reverse this presumed status, trustee/surety, and reclaim the beneficial interest in the estate. Step 1. Status correction. Declare and record your status as the beneficiary/heir, not the trustee. File affidavits of status, ownership, and declaration of living man/woman. Use an assumed name certificate or notice of interest to claim the legal name estate. Step 2. Rebut the presumption of jurisdiction. Revoke or limit powers of attorney granted by implied contracts, e.g., SS. 5. DL application. Rescind signatures made under duress or without full disclosure. Avoid creating new footprints in federal jurisdiction. Use care in how/where you interact with federal agencies. Step 3. Make the correction a matter of public record. Record documents at your county recorder's office. Send certified copies to the Secretary of State, IRS, and Social Security Administration if necessary. Step 4. Claim the estate/trust. Submit a notice of beneficial interest or claim of right. Use Treasury forms such as 56, Notice Concerning Fiduciary Relationship, to notify agencies that you're the beneficiary, not the fiduciary. Summary. Concept. Interpretation. Physical corporeal footprint. Your body's presence creating presumed jurisdiction or consent. Effect on inheritance. Converts you from heir to trustee/surety of the estate. Legal basis. based on implied contracts, jurisdictional acts, SSA, Buck Act, TWA. Reversal process. Status correction, public record filing, claim of beneficial interest. Let's break down the term physical corporeal footprint word by word using precise definitions from legal, philosophical, and general English perspectives. 1. Physical. Definition. Pertaining to the body, matter, or the material world as opposed to the mind or spirit. In law, often refers to something tangible, real, or observable. Usage and context. Physical distinguishes the actual, flesh and blood person from abstract or legal constructs, like corporations or trusts. 2. Corporeal. Definition, legal and philosophical. Derived from Latin corpus, body. Corporeal refers to something having a body, tangible, material, as opposed to incorporeal, which is abstract, like rights or obligations. In property law, corporeal property means property you can touch, like land or goods, whereas incorporeal includes rights, like easements or trademarks. Usage and context. Corporeal emphasizes the living, breathing human being, not the legal fiction or entity created by government registration. 3. Footprint. Definition, literal and metaphorical. Literally, a mark left by the foot. Metaphorically, it means evidence of presence, impact, or territorial reach. In legal or military doctrine, it can describe the presence of a person or force in a jurisdiction or geographic area. Usage and context. Footprint here means the mark or presence of your physical body within a certain jurisdiction, interpreted by some as consent to be governed or subject to a certain authority. Combined interpretation, physical corporeal footprint. Altogether. Physical corporeal footprint equals the tangible presence of a living, material human body in a particular jurisdiction, which is interpreted, in some legal frameworks, as giving evidence of presence and implied consent to authority or governance. Legal implications. Discussions. When your living body is present in a federally governed zone, it's presumed you've consented to be under that jurisdiction's rules, unless rebutted. This footprint is then used to assign you legal responsibilities tied to your legal person, thus preventing you from being recognized as the beneficiary of your estate. You are treated as the trustee/surety instead.